JB's Journal, presented by Bacon Family of Dealerships, Austin Bank, and Eye Care Associates of East Texas.
Well, recently, the Texas Museum of Broadcasting and Communications opened its doors in Kilgore.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about this one. The collection is drawing everyone from television newscasters to school children as JB Smith takes us behind the scenes in tonight's JB's Journal.
CBS presents this program in color.
I really enjoy the history of broadcasting, especially since I was in it and I've been around it so much. It's just been a big part of my life.
Chuck Conrad worked in the television news industry beginning in 1967 as a cameraman in Dallas. Over the years, Chuck started acquiring old broadcast equipment that was being thrown away to make room for new technology.
Well, that's when you wake up one day and you find out that you are counting and you go, I think I've got about 50 TV cameras sitting here in my garage, and I might ought to do something with them. Otherwise, my wife's going to have one heck of a garage sale.
He created the Texas Museum of Broadcasting and Communication in Kilgore.
Seldom does a day go by when somebody doesn't bring us something when we're open.
Many of the patrons are former newscasters.
I've used that camera I've used that one, I've used this one. I used to use that, I've edited on something like this. They really get into it, actually. I think the general public is more interested in what the hardware has seen.
This camera was used by KRLD in Dallas in 1963 when Lee Harvey Oswald was shot live on TV.
A lot of these have been donated by TV stations who are going to throw them out anyway.
Some cameras were used to broadcast television shows.
We've got one camera here that was used on Dick Clark's American Bandstand.
Portable field cameras that in the beginning were not that portable.
I think one of my favorites is our RCA TK41 color camera, which is serial number 40. It's a very early TV camera, and it's gigantic. It weighs 340 pounds, which is not exactly portable, but they actually did take these things out.
Take a few steps up to see one of his favorite pieces on display.
I'm sitting in the Dumont Telecruiser. It's a 1949 flexible bus that was built specially to be a TV mobile unit for Channel 8 in Dallas, which at the time was called KBTV.
The cruiser cost $96,000 to build.
It took 5 people to operate this. There'd be a director, an audio man, an engineer who's sitting where I am, and 2 cameramen.
With only 14,000 miles on it, the cruiser was no longer needed, and in 1972 sold for auction for $750.
It was a lot of work. It took almost 10 years to get it to the state it's in now. It did not look like this at all when we got it.
Radio enthusiast Warren Willard also contributed to the vast collection.
Well, here we probably have 300 radios. My collection consists of about 3,000 radios. I enjoy the radio because of its warmth. I enjoy it because of its art form.
From one of the earliest phonograph players to a radio that, well, lets you listen on the go, music can be found coming from all makes and models.
This is a 1941 Zenith radio AM/FM console. It's called the Spin It model. It's real unique because it was the first year for FM radio and the last one until 1946.
A museum he hopes will educate young people about their past.
And most people who come in think they're going to spend 20 minutes or so, and they end up spending an hour and a half, 2 hours just looking at the stuff.
Radio and television, this is where it started, and it is part of our legacy to leave to future generations.
And when the broadcast day was done,
well, you remember TV stations didn't used to stay on all the time. After the 10 o'clock news, you'd see a test pattern, and this is the gadget that made that Indian head test pattern. For CBS 19, I'm not JB Smith, but that's his story.
Wow, don't you just love that? Well, the museum is housed in an 18,000 square foot building, but Chuck is afraid they are going to outgrow it. Now, the museum is located in Kilgore and open on Fridays and Saturdays.